All right, let's just be real for a second. It's the end of the year, and if you're feeling that deep down, bone-tired exhaustion, you are definitely not alone. I'm not talking about just needing a good night's sleep. I'm talking about feeling completely and totally mentally depleted. So today, let's have a real conversation about what it actually takes to reset before a new year kicks off.
So let's kick things off with this image because, wow, it is so powerful. This is what most of us do, right? We try to stack brand new goals, new habits, a whole new you right on top of all the unresolved junk from the past year. You're literally setting yourself up to fail. It's time to clear out that foundation.
And yeah, there's actually a name for this feeling, the December fog. It's that crazy mix of holiday parties, work deadlines breathing down your neck, and that little pressure cooker in your head screaming that you have to have your entire life figured out by January 1st. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, well, you're in the right place.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by really defining the problem. Then I'll introduce this idea of the mental disconnect. After that, we'll break down exactly what we need to disconnect from, our past, all that external noise, and even our own mindset. And then we'll wrap up with a really practical exercise to make this whole thing real.
So here's the thing, and this is absolutely key. The reason our New Year's resolutions so often crash and burn by February isn't because we lack motivation, not at all. It's because we're trying to sprint into the future while dragging the dead weight of the entire last year behind us. We just haven't made any room for anything new to actually grow.
And that's where this idea comes in, the mental disconnect. Now, this is not another thing to add to your to-do list. Nope, it's the complete opposite. A real reset isn't about piling on more ambitious goals. It's the art of intentionally letting things go. It's about, well, taking out the mental trash.
And you can really see the difference here, right? The traditional way, with resolutions, it's all about adding more goals, more pressure. But the mental disconnect, it's subtractive. The focus is just on letting go. The action is pruning away all that old baggage. And the result isn't just some temporary burst of motivation. It's a truly clean slate.
So where do we even begin? Well, the first place we gotta start, and honestly, it might be the toughest one, is with our past. Specifically, shedding the weight of the person you were this year.
We're talking about disconnecting from that old identity. You know, the you that launched that business that totally face-planted, or the you that swore this was the year you'd finally hit the gym and didn't. We have to stop defining ourselves by these things. Because if you keep telling yourself you're a procrastinator, guess what? Your brain's going to work overtime to prove you right again next year. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Your past should be like a library you visit to learn something, not the house you live in every single day. You literally have to hold a little mental funeral for the version of you from this past year. Let that person go and give yourself permission to be someone new. Okay. Think of your brain like a computer browser with way too many tabs open. All these things, unfinished projects, that email you keep meaning to send, that argument you never resolved, they're all open loops. They're just running in the background 24/7, sucking up your mental energy. To get a real reset, you have to consciously go in and close those tabs.
All right, next up, we have to disconnect from all the external noise. This is the stuff coming from the outside world. The critics, the constant comparisons, that quiet pressure for validation that secretly ends up running our lives.
You know, we live in this age where everything feels like a performance, right? And because of that, a lot of us have this audience in our head. It's like this little imaginary group of people judging our every move. And it is a massive energy leak because you end up making choices for them, not for you.
So I want you to ask yourself a really honest question. And I mean, really sit with this. If you couldn't post about it, couldn't tell a soul, couldn't get a single like or pat on the back for it, would you still want it? If the answer is no, you might be chasing someone else's trophy, not your own dream.
And of course, there's this one, disconnecting from comparison envy. That endless scroll through everyone else's highlight reel can make your own real-life progress feel tiny and insignificant. But listen, you are not behind. Your life is its own journey, on its own timeline. It is not a race against anyone else.
Our third and final area to disconnect from is all internal. It's about shifting the very mindset that shapes your reality. It's about moving from that defensive survival crouch into a state where you're actually building something great. So for the last few years, a lot of us have been stuck in survival mode. You can see what that looks like here. It's reactive, it's always scanning for threats, and it basically shuts down creativity.
To grow, you have to consciously shift into building mode, which is proactive, it looks for opportunities, and it lets creativity flourish. You just can't build an amazing life if your mind is constantly braced for impact.
Oh, and this one is huge, especially for ambitious people. We have to disconnect from the when, then, and trap. You know that voice? I'll be happy when I get the promotion, then I can relax. That way of thinking robs you of the only place life actually exists, right now. The finish line is a myth. There is only the path.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. This isn't just a bunch of nice ideas. Here's a super simple, super practical exercise you can do to put all of this into action. Here's what I want you to do. Sometime this week, carve out 1 hour. No phone, no music, just total quiet. Get a notebook and physically write these things down. Write down the open loops you are officially closing, the old identities you're leaving behind, the people whose opinions you are done carrying around. Actually writing it down, it's like signing a contract with yourself. It makes it real.
And this, right here, is really the heart of this entire idea. The most powerful changes in our lives don't come from what we decide to start, but from what we finally, truly decide to stop. A real reset is about subtraction, not addition. It's about clearing the deck to make room for what really matters.
Look, imagine walking into the new year feeling light. Actually, feeling like you have space to breathe, to think, to create. That version of you is possible, but it means you have to get ruthless about what you leave behind. So as the clock ticks down, I'll just leave you with this one question. The door is closing. What will you leave on the other side?